Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make your own gift bows using faux glitter leather. The supplies that I use for this project, as well as the measurements for the bow that you will see me reference in the video, are linked and written out for you below in the video description, so be sure to check that out if you need further help. Well, hey there everybody. In this tutorial I am going to show you how to make these adorable glitter canvas, or also known as faux glitter leather Christmas bows. And these can go on decorative gift boxes, which I have a full tutorial for how to do this as well on my YouTube channel. And they can also be used as a substitute bow for a real gift, and I guarantee you your recipient will want to keep these forever and probably add them to a wreath or something else. A wreath is a great option also for this if you just want to decorate a wreath with something different. So what we're going to need for this tutorial is you're just going to need some faux glitter leather, or it's also known as glitter canvas. It has a canvas backing to it. I have plenty of resources for this on the blog, so visit the blog post below this video if you want to know where I get this material from. You'll also need some glitter heat transfer vinyl in a complementary color or style to your glitter canvas. You're going to need a cutting safe surface, a straight edge, and a rotary blade. You can also use scissors if you don't have a rotary blade or don't wish to purchase one. And you're going to need a hot glue gun for the process. And you'll also need an iron or an easy press. I'm using an easy press. You can get away with an iron if you do need to. So there's more resources for these supplies in that blog post below if you want to know where I get everything and you want some additional written details. All right, so the first thing we need to do here is we need to cut out some of this glitter canvas, and they sell these in sheets in addition to rolls. This one here, I got a big roll, but you can also find them in sheets that look just like this. So you may find them in both. They are the same thing, they just kind of come packaged differently, and one's a little bit more of a bulk purchase rather than in sheets. So what I'm going to do first here is I'm going to cut, most of these sheets come in about 11 to 12 inches long by 8.5 inches wide. So I'm going to cut similar to that size. That way if you're using a sheet, it's going to be easy to follow along. So I'm going to just use my mat here as a guide. I have numbers on my mat here that I'm using for my measurements. And I'm going to cut this to be about 8.5 inches wide. And I'm just going to use my straight edge and my rotary blade to cut this. And you always want to cut it glitter face down so that the blade goes through a lot easier, and you also won't wear your blade out quite as much. So we're starting with that. All right, so I have my piece here, and the next step is going to be to cut a similar size piece of glitter heat transfer vinyl. This one here is sort of a mesh polka dotted look, but you could use a solid color one too. I wanted to do the polka dot to create a little fun pattern on the other side. So I'm gonna open this up, and you're gonna put the canvas so that it is glitter face down, and then we're gonna put the heat transfer vinyl on top of it. You wanna make sure that your heat transfer vinyl is always shiny side up. You want the plastic liner side up. If you're hearing a little pitter patter, that is my puppy dog. She keeps me company in my craft room all the time. You'll also want to make sure you have a heat safe surface. I'm using this on a mat that is fine to use heat on, so just keep that in mind. In this video too, I don't know if I said, I have a video for this one right here. I'm going to show you how to make the smaller version. So if you want to see how to make the bigger version, go to the video that's linked below in the video description. So I have my easy press ready to go here, and it's set at 380 for 30 seconds. And I'm just going to hit that button, and I'm going to hold it there for 30 seconds so it can transfer, and then I'll move to the other side and do the same thing. Make sure that you let this cool before you peel it so it doesn't rip the material, and it's also safer for your fingers to let it cool for at least 30 to 40 seconds before you try and peel anything. I recommend up to a minute. And then we're going to peel this back, and I'm going to give you the measurements for trimming these to be able to create this bow. So I have this at about 1.5 inches thickness here, and I'm going to use my rotary blade to cut this, and the one I had a minute ago literally just fell apart on me, so good thing I have spare. Okay, there we go, there is one strip. And we're gonna repeat the process another 5 times for a total of 6 strips. Okay, so I have 4 strips here, and we're just gonna set those aside. And I'm gonna turn this now so that the short end is now facing me and the long end is along the top. This is about now down to 6 inches wide. And I'm gonna be cutting 1.5 inch thick strips by 6 inches wide. So I'm repeating the process again. I'm going to do another 4 strips, just like we did here. One. All right, so we have 4 strips there and 4 strips there. Go ahead and just set this piece aside. We're gonna need it again in a few minutes. So I'm gonna bring this down, and we're gonna start with our longer strips first. And we're gonna begin by folding them like so. You sort of want it to be folded like a breast cancer ribbon would be. I just always refer to it like that because everyone understands exactly what that means. And then you wanna think about, that is my easy press. You wanna think about what side you want up. So this is 2 sides. I have a solid red on one side and I have sort of a polka dot fun print on this side. Whatever side you have up here on the curved top part is gonna be your most visible side. This is gonna be sort of your complementary underside. So just keep that in mind. I want the polka dot side to be side up. So I am going to add a little bit of glue right here. And I'm going to overlap it, just like so. And then go ahead and do that for all of these. Now for the shorter strips, go ahead and repeat the same process, making sure the side that you want visible up is matching what you've already done with the first 4. Okay, the next step is to set aside the small ones for now and get the larger ones, and we're going to be gluing them across from each other like so. Now remember, I said that this is going to be a smaller bow. If you're interested in the 6-point bow, go and visit my YouTube channel and the link below in the video description, and I will show you how to make the boxes and the 6-point bow. I'm going to add a little bit of glue and I'm going to overlap this so that it looks like a figure 8, kind of an elongated figure 8. Just like that, and repeat the process with all of these. All right, so you want to get your 2 biggest ones first, and we're going to glue those so that they are across from each other, or they're crossing over each other like so. It's going to look something like this. Then you're going to take the next one and you're going to glue it in between the 2 points here. Kind of want to be generous with your glue at this point. And the next one you're going to glue right on top of that across from it, just like, okay, there we go. So we have that part of our bow done. Now we need to finish off the center. So set that aside for a minute, and you're going to return to this piece here, and you're going to decide how tall you want that to stick out of the center. So I don't need to trim this down very much. It's almost perfect at the size that it is. I'm just going to trim down the edge a little bit here. So this strip is about 5 inches by 2 inches wide. And I'm going to add some glue here. And I'm going to loop it around just like this. And the final step is going to be to glue it into the center. And I like to glue this so that it's sort of diagonal and not directly in line. So glue it like this. There you go, you have a really adorable bow. This is a 4-point bow. This here is a 6-point bow, so you can do either or. They each have their own special look. Now if you want to add tails, I'm going to be adding templates to the blog for some additional bow templates here that are a little bit more specific to a certain style, and they do require a template versus cutting strips. And I'm going to be including some bow tail templates in that. But in the meantime, go ahead and cut another piece of your canvas and iron on a little bit more of that heat transfer vinyl, and we're going to make some tails. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this in halves. So it is going to be about 5.5 inches each. Okay, so we have our two tails, and in order to create a little bit of an edge to our tails, we're going to fold this in half, just like this, and you're just gonna snip right at an angle. Take your scissors and snip right at an angle, just like that. And repeat the same thing for the other one. Now we have our two tails for our bow, and you're just gonna play around with the placement of them here to decide how you want them to look on your final bow. So I'm gonna add a little bit of glue right here along the top and place that just like so. And then get my other one. There we go. Isn't that adorable? I absolutely love making these bows. So we used glitter canvas and heat transfer vinyl, and then all we did was use our scissors and rotary blade to cut strips, and we turned it into a beautiful bow. So I can see here I made a gold one, and I also made a green one here that was a 6-point bow, and there's some other bows also on my blog that you can check out that I'm coming out with next week. So I've made a lot of different variations with these. They're really fun to make. Definitely something you could use on a Christmas tree, a Christmas wreath, and, you know, maybe on a gift box for someone. So really beautiful. I'd love to know your thoughts. Leave me a comment below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I really love making these, and I love that they're double-sided. It's just really fun. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.